office door. I'm like, really? Right now? This is when you try to get in my office?
Good morning, everyone.
Good
You saw a
morning.
little bit of our pre-chat where Lesley was talking about her robot vacuum cleaner. By the
It's
way,
banging on my door. I was like, really? Right now? We're about to go live and share great tips. And the vacuum's like, boom, boom. Anyway.
well, I have to tell you, I used to have one of those Roomba vacuums. And at that time, I had a black lab. Her name was Lady. And she went after that thing like you cannot believe. So I put it away. She passed away. Then I tried it with Millie, my new little Yorkie poo, which is now almost 12 years old. She hates it as well. So you obviously don't have a dog.
No, we have cats, and the cats used to hate it, and now they will just lie there, and it has literally sucked up one of the cat's tails before, and I had to go rescue the cat. So
Oh my God.
they just don't even care. They won't move. The vacuum bumps into them.
Oh my God. Okay. Let me just get this video shared into my group, the Interior Design Business Forum. If you've never been there and you're in the interior design industry, please go check out the Interior Design Business Forum. And before we even get started with our topic today, goal setting, I want to mention that we have a new tutorial out for Google Business Profile, setting it up, getting it verified, optimizing it, because as I've been saying in a lot of my videos on my Instagram reels, that 70% of people will go to Google to find an interior designer. Yeah. And not a lot of people have a optimized Google business profile. So we came out with a tutorial. It's no cost. Go to my website. We're updating it as we speak, where there'll be a pop-up, what do we call it? A banner at the top. Yeah. And possibly also a pop-up that you can register. It's just name and email address, and you will get this tutorial delivered right to your inbox. Always check your junk and your spam folder to make sure it didn't land there before you email us that you didn't get it. Okay. So, all right. So Google Business Profile tutorial free of charge is out right now. Go to my website to grab that. But today, Lesley and I, my associate coach and luxury interior designer, want to talk about goal setting for your business. So why don't you start us out, Lesley, on how many ways you've tried to set goals over the years and what actually has worked for you?
A bajillion. So goal setting is something that I think there are some best practices that can be helpful. We've all heard about SMART goals, and there's sort of buzzwords around that. But I think the biggest thing, and this is our first point, is to figure out what works with your personality. Some people need a goal that is very broken down, every little action step. Some people do better with more broad strokes and just sort of having, something on the map they know they're driving towards, but they don't need every turn by turn direction.
Yes, that's me. That's me.
Yeah, sometimes, it's interesting because I do think this is a personality preference, because some people, when they have the big goal and not the step by step, it feels like too much. It's like, I don't even know where to start. I don't know, like, this seems insurmountable. I can't get there. But then for other people, too much information is paralyzing, and they just need to know, okay, I want my revenue to be 500,000 this year. I'm working towards that every day. So I do think personality is a big part of goal setting and figuring out how many goals you can be working on at a time. It's probably less than you think.
Yes.
And if you need broad strokes or more step-by-step broken down actions to help you get there.
Yeah, because let's be honest, there's always a list, a toilet paper roll long of things you have to get done every day in your personal life and in your business life. Yep. So just talking about your business life, how do you categorize that? And like you perfectly said, it's a lot based on your personality. Yeah. Someone like me who has just honed my go get 'em skills all the time, I can have a really high level goal like 50,000 a month or something like that, and know every day what I have to do at my desk to get going towards that goal. Yeah. I don't personally need the exact breakdown of everything, but my staff does. Mm-hmm. So how do I then take a big goal and break it down? Luckily, at this stage, I have an operations manager, Pamela, right? So I say the big goal and she breaks it down into the steps. But before she existed, I did that. Right.
Well, this got me thinking too. This is something that ChatGPT or some AI tools can help with too.
Definitely.
Because this can be a real sticking point for people is, okay, I have this goal. I don't even know where to start. And that can be paralyzing. And if you've got someone on your team, someone to bounce that idea off of, if there's technology you can use to support this is getting me thinking now too, is like, I haven't tried this chat GPT thing, but I bet if I put in, I'm an interior designer, this is my goal, give me 10 steps to get there, that could help break things down too, to give me the next right step to start making progress and not be so paralyzed by the big goal.
Yes. And we're starting to teach more and more about how to use ChatGPT for things like this in our Profit Insider programs and in our Elite program, especially, because you can use it for so many things. But, just like ChatGPT is being used for, I want to make this recipe. Can you break it down to the steps? I want you to think of a goal setting as a recipe. Okay. You're trying to make a certain amount of money or bring in a certain amount of business into your interior design firm on a monthly basis. How do I get there? What are the 10 steps I need to take? First 1 through 10. And yes, ChatGPT can do that for you, but then logic check it. Does it make sense for your business the way it's laying it out? Do you need to add a step, take out a step? I don't need to do that. You still need to put your humanness into this great program that's helping all of us. Don't let it just make the decisions for you, right? So set a big goal. That's my personality. I know how to get there. And when it was just me, I didn't need to lay out every single step for myself. But as a coach, we do lay out step by step for people.
Yes.
Because some people need that step by step in order to take action. And then let's actually put a time frame on it. This goes back to personality too, right? So you love to have this hour of next Wednesday, I'm going to be working on this.
Yes,
right?
I time block it to an exceptional degree. That would make some people crazy, but for me, I need to see that reality check of what's actually on my schedule to be done and not overcommit myself to things. So if I'm working on a goal, I've blocked off time for that on my calendar.
Which is an amazing way to do it. It really is. And again, for me, I just know I have a goal for that week. And I leave myself more free time during the week to be able to bounce to that or get that done. So my brain, if I time blocked every minute of my life, I would cry every day. I can't. I'm a person that goes from one room to another, grabs something, make sure I'm just the deadly word. I'm always multitasking, right?
No.
Yeah, right. In my head, I'm always multitasking, but then there are times where I go, okay, this is the hour. For me, it's more like 40 minutes until I'm like, oh, I can't do this anymore, right? You've seen me go through it with stuff we're working on, trainings we're putting together. After 40 minutes, Nancy's like, I can't do this anymore. Let's jump to another topic.
Yeah.
Right. So I know I have about 30 to 40 minutes on each particular task that I need to kind of sit down and really focus on. So I block out time in general on my calendar, but I don't give it a specific task like you do. And that shows you why together as coaches, we work with our Profit Insiders. They get to see, like any good diet, some diets work for some people, some of them don't. And it's mostly because you don't do it, right? So we present multiple ways of goal setting, multiple ways of time management to get things done. Because if you're not setting any goals, you're probably just letting life happen and business happen, right? We talked about that a little bit before we went live. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, I think there's the idea of being proactive or reactive, and I hate being reactive in my business. I do not like waking up feeling like stuff is coming at me and I'm just playing whack-a-mole trying to keep up. So I do think proactive goal setting, proactive time blocking to do that can really help you get where you want to go. And I know we talked about Chat GPT a little bit. We also wanted to mention that there's great technology out there to help track your goals and tasks to become more efficient. Software like Asana or Trello or Monday, there's a lot of them that do very similar functions. So don't get hung up on that part of it, but put in your goal, break it down per, here's the main goal, here's the 10 sub steps, assign dates. I mean, there's ways to do this to keep yourself on track and get ahead of things instead of having the year go by and go, wow, I'm not where I thought I would be at the end of the year.
Right. And I'm even going to apply as you're talking. I'm thinking how many of our clients, our coaching clients, come to the table with, I just closed a big deal, right? I just closed a big project. And I just told the client 3 weeks until they're going to have their conceptual design. And I'm like, okay, so your goal is now to have this conceptual design to this client in 3 weeks. Right away, I usually say, should you have made that 6 weeks? Giving yourself enough space to get your goals done, right? So you may have 3 really big, giant goals for your business, but now you just closed a huge project that now maybe changes the deadlines of your goals, right? So I like to always set my calendar a week before something is actually due, right? And I'm somebody who flies by the seat of my pants on a lot of things, but there's certain things that I'm like, shit happens. You get sick, staff gets sick, client delays, things happen. So you want to be prepared, set your goal as a deadline, but then bring it back a week.
Yeah.
Right. And then schedule everything out accordingly, either free time. So, you can work on your bigger goal like I do, or specific time frames for specific parts of your goal. The one I always like to use is when you're creating a new website, people just think, I need a new website. I'm going to call a web designer and it's just going to happen. That web designer is going to need you to fill out a questionnaire. You're going to have to do some research. You're going to have to dig deep in your brain for the branding stuff and getting to know who your ideal client is. If you haven't done that work in advance, even getting up a website takes time.
Yeah.
And it's got to be broken down into stages. You got to interview a couple of web designers. Well, what week are you doing that? Then you've got to actually make a decision, right? So this is where breaking it down is really helpful, and how specific you go on your calendar is up to you, depending on your personality.
I think that's great. You're absolutely right. How specific you get with actually planning it and calendaring it is a personality thing, but you need to have a plan, or the goals are not going to happen.
Correct. So how do you stick to them? One of the things that I always do is create in my head, why am I doing this? Why is this important to me now? Same thing I tell people to say to their clients. Why is it important to them now? Because getting through the tougher times of your getting to your goal, you may want to go, forget it. I'm not doing this right now. This is too hard. I have to learn too much. My brain hurts. I don't know how to do it. I'm frustrated. I've had to walk away how many times? All that is normal.
Yeah.
Expect that as you're going for a goal. And when times get the toughest, get reconnected with why you're doing all of this.
Yeah.
Right? To prove to yourself you can, to prove to naysayers in your life that you can, to just know that you created a business in your lifetime that helped other people. That is a very admirable goal. To put money in your personal bank account to help support your family, right? What is your why? So when you get to the point where you're not sticking to your goals, I want you to figure out why you haven't connected to your higher level of your reason for doing what you do. Because we all know being an entrepreneur can suck sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? Tough clients, complaining people, people who are never satisfied. We've all had them. And there are times we've all said, I just don't want to do this anymore.
Oh, yeah.
It's too hard. Let's go work for someone else. How many times have you said that?
I'm too stubborn to go work for someone else at this point in my life. I like my freedom too much, and that's a big part of the why. But there are moments where, it would be easier just to phone it in and go be a barista and make people coffee all day and come home and not have to think about work after that.
I know, and you get health benefits too if you get work a certain amount of hours, right? There's so much that goes with working for other people sometimes.
Yeah.
But like you said, your higher level why is what gets you through these lofty goals we all set for ourselves, right? I gotta do this. I can't fail. I've got to get to the finish line. I am not leaving this business until I get to a certain level of success.
Yeah.
Right? This is usually why people do what they do and struggle through entrepreneurship. But you know what? We know that you don't always have to struggle, and we have plenty of ways for you to get help. But I just want for today for you to understand that setting a goal has to do a lot with your personality type and how you follow through with that goal and set your time management accordingly to get there. Has a lot to do with your personality as well. So we've presented today Lesley's method, which is set that higher goal, break it down into mini steps, put it on your calendar for specific time slots so you know you're going to get it done. My way is to set a lofty goal, tell my manager, she breaks it down into steps. But before her, I would still say, here's my lofty goal. And I knew the steps on a piece of paper, when I got to my desk for a time slot, I knew I just had to keep banging away. I didn't need those mini steps on my calendar. I just needed time in my calendar. So 2 different personalities, 2 different types of ways of following through with your goals, and then sticking to them, I think, is the same for everybody. Getting in touch with your original why of why you work so hard to do this. Right? So that's our tips for today. And don't forget, at the beginning of the broadcast, I talked about how 100% of you should have a Google business profile, and that should be your number one goal right now if you don't have one, because 70% or more of people go to Google to find an interior designer in their local area. So if you don't have a Google profile, you don't have it optimized properly, you're not using it and updating it regularly, please go to my website, drop down banner, pop up for a no cost Google tutorial that was done by my SEO specialist on my staff, Jason. So it's a nice short little video, and it gives you exactly the steps to take to get optimized, because you need to be optimized on Google to be found.
Yes. And I want to mention one pain point about that. I know a lot of people resist setting up a Google business profile because they work from home. I do too. And they don't want to have their address public. Please know you do not have to. You can set up a service area and not your address. So don't let that hold you back. A lot of people don't even consider it because they don't want their address online.
Yes.
You don't have to as a business. So just know that. Go get the free training. If you're not being found on Google, you're not being found.
Yeah, you might be lucky enough to have something through Instagram or something through Facebook, but I'd rather those be your extra supplements, not your primary marketing. Your primary marketing should be out in your local area, out from behind your computer, and your Google business profile, leading people to your website and what you want them to do once they get there. So, all right. Have a great day, everyone. Lesley and I will see you next week. And Lesley, I'll see you shortly for our meeting.
Sounds good. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Have a great day.